Tav X Hebrews, purity and becoming one. Y'all know we always got to give it a few minutes to see if any brews gonna come up in here. YouTube does not like to send out notifications. And I guess if I was in YouTube's situation, I might feel the same way. YouTube does not particularly want people to come to this channel if they have it their way. What are Archons? Is this real? You're going to be the judge of that for yourself. But we're going to give it a few minutes, like we always do, to see if any brews going to come up in here, and hit that like button on your way in the door. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I'm not going to keep you guys too long. And just in case you're new to the channel, I'd like to welcome you. I am Mr. Real Talk, and this is your go-to YouTube channel for brotherhood, sisterhood, and an attempt at righteousness. On this channel, we talk about all kind of things, okay? This channel is a Old Testament only, Most High only, Yahweh only kind of a channel. We don't subscribe to the New Testament. We don't subscribe to blood sacrifice, human sacrifice. We don't subscribe to drinking spiritual blood like the majority of these religions out here. See, what you're going to find out, Hebrew, is that all religions out here are playing the same game. That's why it's important that you get away from religion and that you come up out of religion, Hebrew. Because they're all leading you astray. Every single religion, believe it or not, every single religion has a deity. Did you guys just hear that? That's called sound confirmation. Every single religion out there has a deity presiding over their religion. I mean, an unholy deity. Ones that have been sent there intentionally to deceive you. I can't make this up. I wouldn't make this up. I know how important this is When I say this, I mean the fact that I'm here in front of the children of Israel. I know how important this is. I'm not going to come on here and play with you guys and play with you gals. I'm not going to come on here and lie to you and lead you astray. You know why? Because I know the consequence of somebody doing that. I'm not willing to suffer those consequences, Hebrew. And I'll also tell you this. This thing is much, much deeper than any of us could have ever imagined or thought. I know this for certain. The powers that be, they do not want anybody to see any video like this, especially when it's coming from somebody who's an Old Testament only person like myself. And many of the subscribers on this channel, I don't call them subscribers. Those are my family members. But to people who may just be showing up, maybe this is your first time on this channel, okay? Maybe this just happens to be the very first video that you've seen on this channel. So you don't have a firm grasp yet as of exactly what we got going on over here, exactly what kind of channel this is. This is your go-to YouTube channel for brotherhood, sisterhood, and an attempt at righteousness. The only way that you can attempt at righteousness is you got to turn to the God of the Old Testament. That's your only hope. Without the God of the Old Testament, you are doomed. Your goose is cooked. We got a saying around here, you're going to get BK'd. BK stands for brutally killed, okay? The God of the Old Testament, that is the same God who destroyed the earth with the flood, okay? And when you read about the God of the Old Testament, you constantly hear him, you hear his angels being surrounded or being in the midst of fire. The Most High God's chariots are wheels of fire. The Most High God himself is a consuming fire. Yesterday on this channel, we went live the prayer of Azariah, which is the real name of one of the Hebrew boys, okay? But in the King James Bible and most of the other Bibles, they call the Hebrew boys Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Those names mean nothing for the most part. They're useless because they are slave names, kind of like what they did to me and you. One of the real Hebrew boys' name was Azariah, which means Yah helps. Okay, and we went live yesterday and we read the prayer of Azariah as him and his other Hebrew homeboys was walking around inside of the fiery furnaces. And Azariah went on a praising rant to the Most High God and him alone. You heard that sound confirmation, letting you know that that really happened and that we read it last night. And not only did we read it last night, that sound confirmation is to let you know that that's not just some fable. It's not just some allegory. The Most High really rescued them Hebrew boys up out of that fiery furnace. Physically. Okay? The same way he gonna have to rescue you and I if we are on this earth when Yahweh comes back. Family, we have yet to really understand what kind of God created us, one, and we've yet to understand what took place in the ancient days. And that's why more and more and more I'm understanding. We got to go back, okay, to the book of Genesis. And I'm sure that has a good reason to do with the fact that the Most High God has us reading the book of Genesis right now out of the Yahweh Bible. Also, anybody on here right now, if you have not watched any of the videos in the Yahweh Bible playlist, you're missing out. Go to the Yahweh Bible playlist after you watch this, of course, or whenever you get a chance. Just know that there is a Yahweh Bible playlist on this channel, and we are in the midst of reading the book of Genesis. Right now, we at Genesis chapter 4. The next chapter will be Genesis chapter 5. We've learned things in 4 chapters of Genesis in the Yahweh Bible that many people are never going to know at all. Okay? And one of the things that we learned, one of the many things that we've learned so far, is that one, Satan is a woman. Okay? But don't take my word for it. It's in the Bible. Go read that. Go listen to that Yahweh Bible playlist. Satan is a woman. Okay? That serpent in the garden was Satan. According to the Yahweh Bible, that serpent in the garden is Satan. Okay? Also, according to the Yahweh Bible, I think it's either in Genesis chapter 2 or 3, when Yahweh shows up to the Garden of Eden. This is groundbreaking. When Yahweh shows up to the Garden of Eden and he says, serpent, because you have done this. See, in the King James Bible, it just tells you, cursed shall you be, you're going to crawl upon your belly and eat dust. But in the Yahweh Bible, that's why you guys have got to watch those Yahweh Bible videos, fam. In the Yahweh Bible, it tells you that the Most High said, serpent, because you have done this. From henceforth, which is from back in the ancient days in the garden time, Yahweh told the serpent, from this day forward, I am removing your power to create life from the dust of the ground. I can drop the mic right now and walk off. I can drop the mic right now and walk the hell off. In your King James Bible or any other Bible out there, they are never going to put that in there. Part of the serpent's punishment for what he did to humanity in the garden was that Yahweh took away the serpent's power to create life from the dust of the ground. I'm talking to somebody out there right now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go and watch every single video in the Yahweh Bible playlist. So far, we've done 4 chapters. Yahweh punishes the serpent in the garden by taking away the serpent's power to create life from the dust of the ground. So do you know what that means? That means that the serpent had the power to create life from the dust of the ground. Did not Yahweh create man from the dust of the ground? I'm talking to somebody out there right now. I'm talking to somebody out there right now. Did not Yahweh create man from the dust of the ground? Yes, he did. But how many of you knew that the serpent had power to create life from the dust of the ground as well? And that Yahweh took that power away from that serpent because what he did in the garden. That's not in your King James Bible. That's not in your Amplified Bible. That's not in your Revised Bible. The only place that I know you can find that is in the Yahweh Bible. Do you see why I say the Yahweh Bible playlist, sound confirmation, the Yahweh Bible playlist on this channel is literally going to change your life. If you watch the videos, if you listen, if you read along with us. Why am I bringing that up right now? Why am I bringing up the fact that the serpent had power to create life from the dust of the ground? You ain't got to believe me. It's in the Bible. The Yahweh Bible, with Yahweh's name restored. You need to be brought up to speed if you're into learning the truth. And see, I was wondering, I've been asking myself, since the serpent had power to create life, exactly what kind of things did the serpent create? I don't know. You don't know. You can speculate. You don't know. Neither do I. But just the fact that knowing that the serpent was creating life from the dust of the ground, if you don't think that's a game changer, I don't know what to tell you. Now, what are archons? And is all of this stuff real? See, what you got to understand is we have yet to fully understand what happened in the Garden of Eden. All I'm trying to do is to get you to think. Think outside of the box. We didn't get to where we are right now in 2025 by following the rules, by coloring inside of the lines. Hell no. We did not get to Yahweh only, Old Testament only, by staying inside of the parameters for what people have for us. I'm trying to get you to think. What are archons? Have you guys ever heard of archons before? Maybe you never heard of archons. Maybe this is your first time hearing about archons. Maybe you're new to the game. Maybe you're new to this channel. Once again, I'm Mr. Real Talk. You go to YouTube channel for brotherhood, sisterhood, and an attempt at righteousness. Tabex to all my Hebrews out there. Purity and becoming one. That's what's going to help us. That's what's going to save us. That's what's going to get us to where we want to be, which is the kingdom. Okay, the kingdom of Yahweh, the one true God, the God of gods. Okay, the one who judges among the gods, the God of gods. Yahweh is his name. Okay, how many of you knew that he had to take away the serpent's power to create life? And look, how deep does this rabbit hole go? Exactly what kind of life was the serpent creating? I don't know, and neither do you. And you better not let nobody brainwash you and tell you don't read this, don't read that. Them days is over. You guys can feel it, you can see it. We moving into another chapter. Many of us, we're having what you call a spiritual graduation. And for some of us, this ain't our first spiritual graduation. I don't know if we're in second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, or sixth grade, maybe eighth grade. I don't know. But one thing I do know, definitely around here on this channel, all of us, we've had a couple of spiritual graduations. And I don't know, the last year for sure, the last 12 months on this channel for sure, and in our personal physical lives and on this channel for sure, we've had multiple graduations. Like I said, I don't know what grade we in, okay, but we've had multiple spiritual graduations. And I see we got Melanin Monroe. What's good, Melanin Monroe? Shout out to you, Melanin Monroe. And I remember you from last time. I think either last live stream or the one before that was like your first joint over here, or your second joint. Maybe your first one, because you definitely, I remember from last time you started commenting. I don't forget no names. And how can I forget a name like Melanin Monroe? Shout out to you, Melanin Monroe. And I do see that feather up in there. I see that feather. I see a dandelion, a rose, a heart looks like. When I see that feather, I know that you are indigenous. Shout out to all my indigenous Nagas. Okay? Yeah. Shout out to all my North American, my indigenous North American Indians out there, which I am one myself. Okay? They can't stop what's going on. We're growing, we're flowing and glowing, and we're growing. Okay? Knowledge is coming back into this earth like you wouldn't believe. Okay, and we ain't just taking answers that people are giving us no more. Welcome again to the channel, Melanin Monroe. A pleasure to see you up in here. Feathers right back at you. I think that's a rose, okay, and a dandelion. All those things right back at you, Melanin Monroe. Good to see you here. Everybody that's in here right now, if you haven't already, hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. And share this video if you dare. But if you don't want to share the video, trust me, I understand. Because niggas might look at you funny. They see you sharing a video like this, they're gonna be like, what? You agree with what that nigga was saying? So just hit the like button and subscribe, okay? And leave all your comments in the comment section when this video uploads, because I definitely want to know what y'all think about this. How many of you even know about the Yahweh Bible? And I'm never gonna stop talking about it, because that's what time it is. If anybody's on here, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there is a playlist on this channel. It's called the Yahweh Bible Playlist, where we're going to read the whole Old Testament, chapter by chapter. Every single chapter going to get its own video. Right now, we're up to Genesis chapter 4. And we've learned, you can learn more in Genesis chapter 4. You can learn more by reading 4 chapters out of the Yahweh Bible than you can going to church your whole life. I kid you not. You guys got to tap into that playlist. It's going to change your life. It's going to get you closer to the God of the indigenous North American Indians. Our God is Yahweh. And think about that, Yahweh. Although that's a Hebrew name, a Hebrew word, you can also hear the indigenous tongue in that, Yahweh. Tell me that don't sound like an Indian word. Yahweh, Yahuwah, Yahweh. That's an Indian word right there, also known as a Hebrew, because the North American indigenous Indians are Hebrews. See, we got all kind of names when we're traveling under our alias name. It's like in real life, we Superman in real life, Superman and Superwoman in real life. But when we go under our disguise, like Superman called himself Clark Kent. When the real Hebrews, who are real supermen and superwomen, when we go under disguise, we call ourselves all kind of names. We call ourselves Black. We call ourselves Indigenous North American Indian. We call ourselves American Indian. We call ourselves Mexican, Black Mexican, Black German. Hey, I'm a Black Cuban. I'm a West Indian. We calling ourselves all kind of names. Those are our Clark Kent names. Our real names is Israel. We are the Israelites, the Hebrews. The Israelites are the indigenous North American Indian. And you the West Indian as well. You are the indigenous people. That's you. And it's so much proof to prove that. That Old Testament is a monster and it's undefeated. And when we read in the Yahweh Bible, I'm going to keep doubling back to this. The Yahweh Bible told us that Yahweh had to take away the power from the serpent to create life from the dust of the ground. So my question is, exactly what kind of creations did the serpent create? And those creations would still be out here on the earth today. Do you guys see this? I'm talking to somebody out there. What are Archons? Have you guys ever even heard of Archons? This information has been suppressed, just like the knowledge to all of my Hebrews out there. The knowledge that you are indigenous to North America. You know how long that's been suppressed? Do you know how long that's been suppressed? Our true identity, our true spiritual practices. Do you know how long that's been suppressed? Some of us out there got spiritual powers already and we don't even know it. Because you think you're a regular person like everybody else. We are not. But the knowledge of that has been suppressed. The knowledge and the ability that we have, did you hear my phone again? That's called sound confirmation. I can't make this up. If you actually got your hand on some of those old books and you found out some of the spiritual practices that North American indigenous Indians had and that we were doing, it will blow your mind. And of course, a Christian or a Catholic would say, that's witchcraft, brother, that's witchcraft. Yeah, right. Of course they would say that. If Moses was alive today doing any of those things that he did in the Old Testament, a lot of you soft jellyback Negroes, you would cry foul. You would say witchcraft. If Joshua was out here today putting it down on the enemies of the Most High and your enemies too, and he made the sun stand still, you know what you niggas will say? Witchcraft, Joshua was wicked. He's doing witchcraft. I know how my people are. We are scary, okay? Because of what the Church of Rome has done to us. It's made us scary. If somebody came along right now, like Elijah, and they was getting pressed out and abused by you know who, and they decided to call down fire from Yahweh and destroy 50 you know who, I can hear our people now. That's sorcery. That's witchcraft, because you scary. And I've been scary too, but not no more. Them days is over, Hebrew. Knowledge is pouring in at a rapidly astonishing pace, and we are questioning everything. Before we even started to go deep in the rabbit hole as we are now on this channel, we had already been saying we got to go back. We got to go back to Genesis. And it started off in the King James Version. Now we done flipped the script and we got the Yahweh Bible, and we going back through Genesis, and what a treat it is. Look, and it ain't for everybody. Second Esdras, I believe, chapter 14 tells you you got some books that are for everybody, and then some books are only for the wise of Israel. And that's not saying that I'm wise. That's not saying that you brothers and sisters who read these other books are wise. I'm just saying what was in your 1611 King James Bible, Second Esdras chapter 14, if I'm not mistaken. Ezra was told to give some of these books are for everybody, and then some books to hold back and only give them to the wise of the nation. For there's a wealth of understanding in them, and only the wise people would be able to understand these things. You guys, there's levels to this, just like it's levels to school. Kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade. Like I told you, I don't know what grade we in over here, but I do know we've had a handful of graduations in the last 12 months. And like I said, I don't know where that leaves us, but we have graduated a couple of times in the last 12 months. It ain't no way around it. It's evident to see. And I praise the Most High God, the mighty one of Jacob, for doing that. He's revealing things to us at a rapidly astonishing rate. He's bringing things to the forefront that needs to come to the forefront. Yahweh is showing us signs and wonders, great and small. I can't tell y'all how many signs and wonders I done seen, great and small, in this last 12 months, in this last 6 months, the last 90 days. I can't tell you. I'm seeing UFOs like crazy, orbs. Almost damn near seem like I'm being followed and tracked by UFOs. I'm not making this up neither, because I know what will happen. Jeremy Thomas says, ha, 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 this is kind of funny. Well, tell me something, Jeremy Thomas. What's so funny, Jeremy Thomas? Because I really would like to know, since you're the only one laughing. What's so funny, Jeremy Thomas? Because I don't find anything funny. But I do know one thing, though. Whenever we start going deep into the rabbit hole over here, it's usually a demon like you, and it's usually a demon like yourself with no profile picture who shows up and starts talking dumb and stupid and crazy. Like I said, Jeremy Thomas, what's so funny? You're the only funny thing in here, Jeremy Thomas. You guys, we're questioning everything right now. And look, everybody on this live stream right now, or on this playback if you're watching, I want you guys to pay attention, because this channel, Mr. Real Talk, this channel is not like, we're not the typical YouTube channel, all right? We boldly go where no channel has gone before. We go deep into the rabbit hole, right? And we know that it don't have no bottom. This channel is not for everybody. If you're afraid of what you may find when you plunge into the rabbit hole, I'm going to tell you, this channel is not for you. We are not afraid of anything over here. You know who we afraid of? We afraid of our creator, our God, Yahweh, the Most High God, the God of the Old Testament, the God of the Israelites, the God of the indigenous North American Indians. That's who we afraid of. Everybody else is inconsequential, including devils like this Jeremy Thomas. Y'all notice he said this is real funny. But look, now what he say? Jeremy Thomas. What's funny is that the whole scroll tells an astonishing story. I agree with you about that. Why do you just keep it in the Old Testament? Well, see, you're going to learn something today, Jeremy Thomas, and you're going to learn it's not funny at all, okay? You're going to learn something today, Jeremy Thomas, if you can humble down and receive this. Brother King David says, Tav X. Tav X to you, King David. Always a pleasure to see you in here, brother. Now, Mr. Jeremy Thomas, once again, we're going to address your question, what you said. What's funny is that the whole scroll tells an astonishing story. I agree with you about that. Why do you just keep it in the Old Testament? Well, here it is, Jeremy Thomas, because the God of the New Testament is a demon. Okay, I'm just going to get straight to it because we're not here to basically discuss the New Testament today. But since you asked, that's why we keep it in the Old Testament. The God of the New Testament requires you to pledge allegiance to a half man, half God. And that half man, half God is a lawbreaker. When I say a lawbreaker, he's breaking the laws of God in the Old Testament. Okay. In the New Testament, there's this guy named Christ, JC, or Yeshua, call him what you want. He claims to be the only begotten Son of God, which right there starts off as a lie. So we can't go with that. He also tells you to drink his blood. Now, before you try to defend being a vampire, understand this, Jeremy Thomas, the Most High God of the Old Testament, he doesn't play that blood crap. You're not to be drinking blood of any kind. So that's 2 strikes against your New Testament right there. You're not to drink blood of any kind. And also, this same guy who's telling you to drink blood is also telling you to eat his body. Now, you show me the God of the Old Testament condoning, number one, drinking blood at any time, drinking blood of any kind. And also show me the God of the Old Testament where he permits you to be a spiritual cannibal at any time. That's why we don't subscribe to the Old Testament, okay? There is no such thing as the only begotten Son of God. And if God had one, a son like that, he would have told us about it in the Old Testament. But see, I'm sure, Jeremy Thomas, more than likely, you drink spiritual blood and nobody's ever corrected you. I'm not chastising you, but I'm letting you know you're not to ever engage in drinking blood of any kind. And anybody who's telling you to drink blood of any kind is the devil that the Bible speaks of. In order for you to justify drinking blood, I don't care who's telling you to do it. You have to find in the laws of God, not no half man, half God, not somebody who lied and told you that all power is given unto me in heaven and earth, when God in the Old Testament says, I don't share my glory with nobody. See, you're going to have to make a choice. And that's why we exclude the New Testament. The New Testament is a stumbling block put in front of you to get your life snuffed out by turning you into a lawless vampire and a cannibal. But guess what? So in that way, yeah, it is kind of funny that you and millions of other people out there think it's okay to be a spiritual vampire and a spiritual cannibal. You don't have the foggiest idea about who and what God is. The new God in the New Testament is a blood demon. If you knew the God of the Old Testament, you would know he does not require sacrifice of any kind. But if you humble yourself down over here, Jeremy Thomas, you're going to learn a whole lot. Okay? You're going to learn a whole lot. Okay? And then let me check. And just before, we're going to explain what these Archons are. Okay? But I want you guys to see this. Hold on, Jeremy Thomas. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Don't you go nowhere. Because you was like, oh, this is kind of funny. Well, we're going to see if this is funny. And then we're going to get back to our regularly scheduled program. Okay? And let's see if you still think this is funny, because I know you didn't learn more in the last 5 minutes than you have your whole life. Jeremy Thomas, is it still funny? Because you claim that this was so funny. You're going to really find out that you really don't know as much as you think you do, Jeremy Thomas. And did you know that you right here in the midst of physical Israelites? Did you know that? Did you know you talking to a real life, not a spiritual Jew? I'm a physical Israelite, just like all my brothers and sisters over here. Did you know that, Jeremy Thomas? You done came to the right place today, Jeremy Thomas. And let this be a note for anybody who wants to be a spiritual vampire. Anybody who thinks that you need any kind of sacrifice, whether that's Christ, animals, whatever, listen to this. You listen to Jeremy Thomas. Jeremiah 7:22. This is why we don't care nothing about no New Testament. Jeremiah 7:22. Listen to this. For I spake not unto your fathers. When he said your fathers, he's talking to my fathers, the Israelites. I don't know if you were Israelite or not. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. But you're following the doctrine of the other nations. And you're probably, well, definitely, you're a Gentile in your spirit. But I don't know. Are you a physical Israelite, Jeremy Thomas? What's your nationality, Jeremy Thomas? Since everything is so funny. And tell me, do you still think it's funny? Because I know you didn't learn more in the last 5 minutes than you have your whole life. Okay? If you're willing to admit it. And if you got a problem with what I'm saying, I really don't care. I'm reading out of the scriptures. Jeremiah 7:22. For I spake not unto your fathers, nor commanded them in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt concerning burnt offerings or sacrifices. Do you hear that? So guess what? All those times in the Old Testament where they was telling you, kill these animals, sacrifice these animals, that's nonsense. They added it in there to get you softened up so that you would be a body eater and a blood drinker of Christ. And then that you would come on here running your big mouth, trying to, I don't know what you call yourself, thinking something funny over here, running your big mouth and don't know nothing. I bet you didn't know that God of the Old Testament, what did he say? What did he say? For anybody that wants to sacrifice anything, whether you want to sacrifice an animal or a human, listen up. Jeremiah 7:22. For I spake not unto your fathers. Do you know what it means when it says, for I spake not? That means I didn't tell you to sacrifice nothing, animal or human. For I spake not unto your fathers, nor commanded them in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt, concerning burnt offerings or sacrifices. You hear that? Do you hear that? But what did he say? Verse 23. But this thing I commanded them, saying, obey my voice, and I will be your God, and ye shall be my people, and walk in all the ways that I commanded you, that it may be well with you. We don't need no blood for nothing. So watch your mouth when you come over here talking crazy. And that sound confirmation, you better check your spirit. Watch your mouth when you come over here. You ain't here with real physical Israelites, and you better act like it. Know what you think this is. King David says, so blood, driving this second one, funny one, come on my page with this BS a few days ago. Blood drinking. I'm telling you, you ain't nothing. You know what? You probably a Archon. And see y'all know what this guy Jeremy Thomas is? First of all, now let's see if he got something to say with what I just said now. Because I didn't use my words. See, this is why they don't like to come in here. Everybody in here carrying a very big, long, wide, heavy, Old Testament only sword. And when we start swinging that thing, spiritual limbs get to falling off. I didn't just heal this demon, Jeremy Thomas, into pieces. And it wasn't even hard. Old Testament only. Jeremy Thomas, do you see why we don't rock with the New Testament now? I just healed the New Testament into pieces. You see that? Now, what's your rebuttal to that? And tell me, is it still funny? Because you talking about, ha, 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 this is kind of funny to me. Is it still funny now? You done learned more today in 10 minutes than you have in your whole life. Is it still funny now? King David says, facts, super facts. Had to go off on one of my videos claiming to be y'all only. They back with the BS. When we was over there, it's Agent in the Mist. Yeah, it is, King David. Yeah, it is. And you know why? Because they scared. You know what? Deep down inside, Jeremy Thomas is afraid. Hey, y'all notice he ain't said nothing, right? He hasn't opened his big mouth since 551 because he's been sitting back, digesting what we've been saying, right? Reading out of the Old Testament. What's wrong, Jeremy Thomas? Cat got your tongue? Or are you a Archon? And see, you guys, see? You guys, like as I was saying, this world is not what they told us it was. The Most High had to take away the serpent's ability to create life from the dust of the ground. So what kind of creations did the serpent create? Is Jeremy Thomas a creation from the serpent? Somebody out there, you guys might be laughing because, yeah, now I'm laughing now because it is kind of funny now. Jeremy Thomas, are you an Archon? Are you a serpent seed? Oh, yeah, now you hear, no, sir, it's not funny. I study the word also. I haven't learned anything. Well, get your dumb ass from over here. Get your dumb ass from over here. No, sir, it's not funny. I study the word also. I haven't learned anything. You're a liar and a demon. You didn't know Jeremiah 7:22. You're a waste of time. Who is the Son of God they saw in Daniel 3:25? This is how I know you don't study. And this is how I know you are a liar. You're not going to deal with Jeremiah 7:22. You're not going to deal with Jeremiah 7:22, but you claim you study the word. You a demon, okay? And I'm going to address you this one last time, and then I'm not saying nothing else to you. You a demon, and you're probably a serpent seed. And you probably very well know who the Son of God is. But because you're a demon, or a Catholic, or a Christian, one and the same, you're probably an Archon, okay? Y'all word is plastic red. Yeah. Why are you over here then? If you study the word and all that, Jeremy Thomas, why are you over here, man?
They're part of our family. So
you with your blood drinking self. Check this out. You want to know who God's son is, you stupid nigga? Do you want to know who God's son is? Exodus 4:22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith Yahweh, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. Did you know that? There it is right there. I'm not even going to deal with you. I'm going to hit you with one more because I see you're a vampire. You're a gargoyle. You're a spiritual gargoyle is what you are. So check this out, you spiritual demon. Psalm 16:4. Their sorrows shall be multiplied, that hasten after another God. Everybody, Jeremy Thomas is hastening after another God. He's a follower of Christ. Their sorrow shall be hastened their sorrow shall be multiplied that hasten after another God. Their drink offerings of blood will I not offer, nor take up their names into my lips. So you see what David said in the Psalms? King David says, I ain't doing no blood drink offering. But Jeremy Thomas, he does blood drink offering, just like Christ told him to. So, but look, he's going to claim he didn't learn anything. You know why? Because he's a spiritual vampire. We just read Psalm 16:4. King David says no, he ain't doing no blood drink offering. And not only is King David not going to do a blood drink offering, he says, I'm not even going to bring the name of the person who would tell me to do that through my mouth. Talking about Christ. King David knew that Jesus was going to tell you niggas to drink blood. King David says, I ain't drinking no blood. But Jeremy Thomas wants you guys to join him and to be a blood-sucking, body-eating nigga. That's what he wants, regardless of what I just read. And I guarantee you this, he's not going to deal with Psalm 16 and 4. Ask Jeremy Thomas, anybody, to explain Psalm 16 and 4. King David says he ain't doing no blood drink offering, but Christ tells you to drink all of his blood. He told the disciples, here's my blood. My blood is offered for many. Drink it all. King David says, no, I ain't doing it. But Jeremy Thomas says he gonna do it. You see that? Do you guys see that? This is the kind of people that we got to live around. The Most High God forbade you to eat human flesh, but Christ tells you to eat his body. And instead of sticking to the laws of God, Jeremy Thomas will make excuses for why it's okay to grab a straw and have a blood smoothie. He thinks that it's okay. He doesn't know that the Most High is going to knock him off for being a damn vampire. But that's enough for that. For the people who got eyes to see, you see that Jeremy Thomas, he's drunk with blood. He's a demon. He's a vampire. And if he gets it, he gets it. If he doesn't, not my problem. But you guys, I will not be addressing him anymore. If you want to address him, you can. Because I also have my suspicions that Jeremy Thomas, he already knows who the Son of God is. He knows Exodus 4 and 22. You notice he won't comment on Exodus 4 and 22. God said Israel is his firstborn son. God never mentions JC, but he does mention us. You notice he won't even mention who the physical Israelites are. He won't mention that. And he won't deal with Psalm 16 and 4 about King David saying no to blood drink offerings. He won't say a thing about it because he's a demon. He's a lawbreaker. Clearly, to the people who follow the Most High God and him only, we see him for what he is. He's a demon. Like I said, fam, I'm not going to address him no more. But if you guys want to use him for target practice, knock yourself out. I'm not addressing him no more because, see, I know he's wicked. He's here to get me so I won't ask you guys about these Archons. That's his main purpose here. You guys, this thing is spiritual. This world is not what they told us it was. I tell you guys all the time, the invisible world is real. The spiritual realm is real. Things go on all the time, like sound confirmation, which is spiritual. Many of you think it's a game. Some of you have never heard of Archons before. And Jeremy Thomas, I got a feeling, y'all, he's here just to make sure we don't have this conversation about Archons because he doesn't want this to come out. Because there is a certain kind of spirit that dwells in Jeremy Thomas. And not because I'm some kind of genius or something, but the Most High God made me spiritually sensitive. I can sense things. I can see things. I don't care who believes me. I'm just sharing with you guys what's going on. Okay? This is a very spiritual stream right now. Hazelnut City in the building. Hazelnut City says, hey, I was at a truck stop and I saw a guy with YHWH in Hebrew and I recognized it and told him that's Yahweh. And then I saw he had the Bible reference, Deuteronomy 6 and 4 underneath. And then I thought of you. A Hazelnut City, all praises to the Most High God. See, a Hazelnut City. Shout out to you, Hazelnut City. And you know what? Hazelnut City, I don't know how long you've been on this live stream, but if you've been on here for more than 5 minutes, you can see what's been going on here, Hazelwood. I'm sorry, I'm about to call you Hazelwoods. My bad, Hazelnut City. Hazelnut City, I don't know how long you've been on this stream, but if you've been on here for more than 5 minutes, you see what's going on. Do you see this is a spiritual attack by this Jeremy Thomas guy because he does not want us to talk about these Archons. Number one, Jeremy Thomas does not like the fact that we are into Yahweh and him only because he is the creator. Everybody else is a sham and a hoax. He doesn't like that. So he's on the spiritual demon side. And then also we talking about Archons. I don't know if you know about Archons, Hazelnut City. I don't know if any of the brothers and sisters ever heard of Archons or know about it. But I bet you this, I bet you Jeremy Thomas knows about him. I bet you Jeremy Thomas knows about Archons. And I bet you that that is why he's here. So that I just get derailed and that we never talk about these Archons, y'all. But it ain't going to work. I don't know if you peeped that out, Hazelnut City. And shout out to Hazelnut City because you've been coming back and back and back and back to this channel ever since I seen you that day. I think the first time you came on here, Hazelnut City, was when it was like somebody in a tractor trailer in South Carolina threatening to detonate some kind of device or something like that, I think. And I think that's the first time you popped up on here. And ever since that day, you've been here. And you keep on popping up. Shout out to you, Hazelnut City. And I can tell, I felt it in your spirit. From once I kept seeing you pop back up, I'm like, you know what? It's something in Hazelnut City, something in that guy's spirit. He wants truth. He wants reality. And I can sense that from you, Hazelnut City. Shout out to you and good to see you. Jeremy Thomas says, y'all saw this plasticware and we can go OT only. No, we can't. You're a waste of time. I'm not dealing with you. We already done ripped you to smithereens. You never dealt with Psalms 16:4, Jeremiah 7:22, or Exodus 4:22. You're a lightweight. I'm not dealing with you. Jeremy Thomas says, I saw your name, Mr. Real Talk. I wanted to. Okay, whatever that means. Jeremy Thomas says, yes, I knew that. So Israel was in the furnace with the Hebrew boys. Great. Look how dumb you sound. What do you mean Israel was in the furnace with the Hebrew boys? The Hebrew boys are Israel. You're making yourself sound like more of a fool, but every time you speak. Just admit that you got destroyed. You're completely confounded. I don't even know why you're here. I take that back. I do know why you're here. You're the devil that the Bible speaks of. And you're here to make sure that brothers and sisters never find out what Archons are. You're a demon. Sister SP, what's good, SP? SP says, shalom, fam. Never heard of Archons before. Shout out to you, Sister SP. And we got this demon Jeremy Thomas in here. He is determined, y'all. He does not want us to talk about Archons. Hazelnut City says, yeah, that was it. Yeah, I remember you, Hazelnut City. Always good to see you over here, man. Hazelnut City, one of them real ones. Hazelnut City says, although it's been a couple weeks since I came on here, glad I saw your live stream today. Hey, that's what's up, Hazelnut City. And see, I remember people, whether it's for bad or for good. And I remember Hazelnut City for good. So shout out to Hazelnut City. And King David says, that one live when you went off on foul spirits and talking about sound confirmations, and y'all showed it physically, had your door open up live. Literally, we were shook, but knew it was right. And King David, I remember that live stream. I remember that live stream. And look, but I didn't remember which one it was on. So it was on the one with the foul spirits. Okay. And yeah, I remember I had to wild out on that junk because niggas was bugging out. And during the middle of that live stream, I can't remember exactly what I said, but it must have been something that was 100% true, couldn't be denied. And then this door right here just opened up all of a sudden. I remember that. I ain't gonna lie. That even got me. I was like, what the hell? The spirit world is real. It's way more realer than what we think. Y'all, we've been lied to. This world ain't nothing like what they told us, y'all. Hey, King David, I remember it like it was yesterday when that door, it was this one right here. It was this one right here. That door opened up on its own. And even when it happened, I was like, hey, yo, I know about sound confirmation, but I was like, damn, that got me. And I know you felt it, and anybody who was on that live stream, y'all remember that? Y'all felt that joint, yo. We cannot make this up. This is spiritual. Okay, now about this Archon stuff. What are Archons, and is this real? First, I want y'all to do, if you're not subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button right now. Like this video, share this video with somebody, right? And understand this. Dealing with Jeremy Thomas is just something from time to time we got to do We got hecklers, spiritual vampires, spiritual gargoyles, and cannibals that are going to come in here and try to persuade us to be a vampire like him and like everybody else. Most everybody in the world, for the most part, is a vampire. For the most part, we got some exceptions like us, but we are the rarity. Everybody else, they cannibals and vampires out here, physically and spiritually. And then they try to justify their crap. You notice he never dealt with when I brought out Psalm 16:4, saying no to the blood drink offering, because Christ tells you to drink his blood drink offering. Christ lets you know his blood is a blood offering, and he told you to drink it. It's a blood drink offering that Psalm 16:4 said, no, I ain't doing it. And you know what? All praises, and you guys, all praises to the Most High God, to the Mighty One of Jacob. And look, not because of the money, because it ain't about the money, okay? It's about the spirit, okay? Shout out to Hazelnut City, okay? Hazelnut City didn't even say nothing. Hazelnut City just dropped his wallet in the live chat. Hazelnut City just hit me. I guess this is a live chat. Hazelnut City just hit me with a live chat. I gotta shout them out, and I gotta let you know, Hazelnut City, I appreciate you, Hazelnut City, because these are hard times out here that we living in. Economy is uncertain. Most people are struggling at work 9 to 5, just trying to make bills, trying to get by. So I appreciate that $10 that you dropped in the live chat, Hazelnut City. May the Most High God hit you back tenfold for showing that, number one, act of kindness and contributing to the finances, okay? Like I said, it ain't about the money, but it is about the spirit. And also, I got to shout you out, Hazelnut City, because you are the first, what you call it? You the first live chat. Not live chat. You the first, I don't even know what to call it. You the first super chat that I've had since this channel has become monetized, okay? I've been on YouTube, you guys, for 7 years. When I came on here, I wasn't thinking about trying to make no money. I didn't even know that you can make money on YouTube. You know why I started this channel? Because I got tired of people in DC, Maryland, and Virginia getting shot every day, getting unalived every day, getting robbed every day. 7 years ago, it got to such a level, I was like fed up, and I just hopped on YouTube. My goal was to try to slow some of the murders down. That was my goal, and here we are 7 years later. At the end of 2024, the Most High God allowed this channel to become monetized. I still can't get over that, okay? And like I said, my goal was never to come out and make money on this channel, but if the Most High allows me to make money on this channel, I'm going to praise his name and spread his word and do what I'm told to do, like I've been doing for the last 7 years on this channel. But I just got to shout out Hazelnut City. I appreciate that, and it shows that, hey, you never know who's going to come through. You never know who's listening. Everybody on this channel, we are a family, okay? Because we got one goal in mind. We trying to get to the bottom of the truth, and Yahweh's laws are the truth. That's why we do what we do here. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel. And shout out to Hazelnut City for dropping that bag with the super chat. King David, and he says, last thing, they hid my comment when I said, Yah said, when time of Noah, if Moses was in it, if they righteous will save them, not blood, because Yah never wanted it shedding any kind of innocent. Let them know, King David. You guys, this is so important, you guys. This is so important. And I guess we're going to talk about these Archons, but I guess we had to talk about this too, because Jeremy Thomas wanted to come in here and interrupt what we had going on. But as you can see, nobody's going to stop this. And you notice he never said nothing about that Psalm 16:4. And I know that most people have never heard that, but you're going to hear it today on this channel. You're going to hear and see stuff that you're normally not going to hear. We late in the game right now, and we trying to make up for lost time. King David says, I didn't know you can do that. Definitely support any y'all only this coming payday that caught me off guard. Hey, it's all good, Brother King David. And you know what? Because here's the thing, y'all. Although my channel was monetized, I don't be coming on here saying, hey, y'all, like, it's a lot of YouTube people out there, and I'm not knocking them, right? If you got a channel and your channel is based on certain things, like making money and tech and all this other kind of stuff, then yeah, be all about the money. But since this channel is a biblically based channel, and I know times is hard, even though I just became monetized at the end of 2024, I'm not gonna come on here and ask y'all, hey y'all, hit me with some chats, do all this. Nah, because it ain't about that. If and whenever somebody's able to donate to the channel, it'll be all good. And that's because the Most High has blessed you to be able to do that. But since this channel is monetized, at some point, maybe when I get that big video that breaks out, I'll be able to get some money from the AdSense. But I would never come on here and pressure you guys or ask you guys and gals, hey, can you guys hit me with some super chats? Because I'm just like, y'all, we just trying to make it. But yeah, shout out to Hazelnut City for I guess I was a super chat version, I guess. I'm not no more. Got a super chat. But you guys, where is he at? Jeremy Thomas. Jeremy Thomas was sent here on a mission from the spiritual realm, from the evil side, to derail us because he saw this topic. What are Archons? Okay, now we about to get into it. Hey, and also, side note, family, just because I thought about it now, because this has never happened. This really caught me off guard that Hazelnut City sent a super chat. And also because you just don't see too many biblical channels, unless they blood drinkers, of course. You don't see too many biblical channels that are monetized. So I'm really not expecting to make any money from this channel. So whenever something does pop up, like I get kind of ecstatic. This really threw me off, but it does show me that it's possible. I just don't see biblical channels, especially ones for people who think like us, y'all. You know, we the no blood gang over here. No blood sacrifice of any sort, no human sacrifice of any sort, and we only serve Yahweh. So, you know, I've never seen channels like that even be monetized, or definitely don't see them get super chats, because most of the Israelites, we ain't got no damn money to be super chatting nobody. We trying to survive. And that's why we want the Most High to come, and the Most High is going to monetize the nation of Israel. We're going to get the whole kingdom. You feel me? And now we get ready to talk about these Archons. Because y'all, I know for a fact, if you go back when this stream ends and watch this whole stream from beginning to end, you're going to see that Jeremy Thomas was only here for one reason, to stop us from talking about the Archons. King David says, why I respect that you don't beg your people for money, but do make them enemies pay, which they should. But I can't stand them that stay pocket me money. Yeah, I know what you mean, King David. I know what you mean. And you know what? And that's why I say, side note too. Also, for anybody out there that does like to donate to the channel, I'm gonna drop I will put my Cash App in this video description, and I'm gonna drop my Cash App link in the comment section. And because also too, yeah, I definitely appreciate those super chats, fam. But you know, YouTube gotta eat, right? So YouTube is, I think they're gonna take like, what is it, 50%? It's either 50% or 45% they take, right? Something like that. But if anybody would like to donate to the channel, I'm gonna drop my Cash App in the, matter of fact, here's my Cash App right here. But I will drop the Cash App when the video uploads. I'm gonna throw that Cash App in the video description, and I'm gonna put it in the comment section. So if anybody wants to donate, you can see it's hashtag Boss at Home 1121, and that way we can cut YouTube out. You know what I'm saying? And I get all the donations, because YouTube be hating on my channel and everything, y'all, blocking my channel, shadow banning videos. Trust me, YouTube does not like the fact that there's 9 people in here right now, and we talking about what we get ready to talk about. But it took a whole hour to get riffraff like Jeremy Thomas the hell up out of here. Y'all notice that Psalm 16:4 shut his mouth. Y'all notice he ain't got nothing to say. And if he do say anything else, he's literally just blowing off smoke. He ain't going to deal with Psalm 16:4. King David rejected the blood drink offering that JC told you to drink. King David says, I'm not drinking that crap. I'm not Dracula. Okay? Now, to these Archons. Oh, boy. Wow. Check this out. Look at this, y'all. Now, we know J.R. Meadows said, speak up. Okay. Is my volume good? Let me know, fam. Can y'all hear me? Check, check, check. I hope everything good. Well, I don't think he was talking about volume. J.R. Meadows says, what's up, people of the Most High? That's right, brother J.R. Meadows. Let them know. Always good to see you up in here. J.R. Meadows said, yeah, that's right, Op. Now, family, it took us 60 minutes to get to it, but here it is. If anybody has not been watching the Yahweh Bible playlist, you're missing out big time. It's jaw-dropping information. I'm begging y'all. I'm pleading with you. Please. Please, I'm begging you. Go back. Watch every single video in the Yahweh Bible playlist. So far, we made it up to Genesis chapter 4. And in Genesis, it's either in chapter 2 or chapter 3, Yahweh tells us that as a punishment to the serpent, he told the serpent, because you have done this, you are bitterly cursed, and I am taking away your power to create life from the dust of the ground. So my question is this. Number one, until I read that in the Yahweh Bible, I never knew that the serpent had power to create life, let alone from the dust of the ground. Exactly what kind of creations and beings did that serpent create before Yahweh took away his power? I don't know. Neither do you. Okay? We do know, though, before we even started going into the Yahweh Bible to read this Genesis thing, we knew that something was off. We could tell because we figured out that there's more than one God in the Bible. There's one God telling you blood, 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 sacrifice these innocent animals, even do human sacrifice. But then there's one God that says, Jeremiah 7:22, he says, I never spoke to your ancestors about burnt offerings or sacrifices when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. So the question is, who did? The scriptures have been infiltrated. Okay? Once again, what kind of creations did the serpent create in the garden? Not in the garden, I'm sorry, but before the Most High took away the serpent's ability to create life from the dust of the ground, what did he create? That will really make you spin the block right there. That'll make you just sit there and ponder. You see throughout all human history that something is off. Something is way off. When we read Genesis, we knew something was off. The Most High first in the beginning said he gave us all the fruits and the vegetables, the things that grow from the earth, the things that grow from the trees to eat. And then all of a sudden, when Noah get off the ark, now it's eat whatever you want, every creeping thing. Huh? Something happened, okay? And it wasn't just one time. It's a lot of stuff that happened in those first 10 chapters in Genesis. It is so many things that happen, and we do not yet have a full, clear understanding of what. But I guarantee you this: if you watch every video that we've done so far in the Yahweh Bible playlist, your understanding will grow by leaps and bounds. Okay, It's going to grow by leaps and bounds, Hebrew. There is a force that came to Adam and Eve in that garden. And I'm telling you, the way that Genesis is written, serpent talk, snake talk, all of this kind of stuff, there is something still that we're not putting it all together. There have been lots of other records that have been left out intentionally, you guys. We are working with a puzzle that does not have all the parts. We do have enough to gain our soul salvation, but there are plenty of missing parts out there that would give further understanding, further enlightenment. Have you guys ever heard of the Nag Hammadi Bible? Some people have never heard of the Nag Hammadi Bible. Some people never heard of the Yahweh Bible. I'm telling you, most people are never going to be able to read the Yahweh Bible. Most people are never going to even know it exists. You have the playlist for free that I'm giving you guys. All you got to do is watch the videos. The Yahweh Bible playlist is going to change your life. And we've only read 4 chapters so far. I've had my mind completely blown away. I promise you, there's not one of you on this live stream or on the playback who, if you have watched those videos in that playlist, I know your soul has been edified. You got to watch those videos. And you're still going to find out there's lots of other things that we're missing from the earliest parts, y'all, of Genesis, in the creation days. Now that we know that the serpent had power to create things, where's the record of the things that he created? You guys, this rabbit hole goes deeper and deeper and deeper. What are archons? Do you notice that in this world is built off of pain and suffering? Do you notice that for us to survive, many of us, we haven't been vegans and vegetarians our whole life? I know I haven't. Most of the people in the world haven't. We've been eating what? Animals. And we don't even realize it, right? Because we've been born into it. There's a force that always makes you rob Peter to pay Paul, even when it comes to staying alive. In order for most people to eat the way we eat, in order for us to eat, something has to die. You can never have good days without having bad days. There's a constant tug and a pull on your energy. There's a constant tug and pull on you, physically, spiritually, financially, emotionally. Your energy is feeding something, okay? Your emotions is feeding something, especially bad ones. Diabolical. It's downright sinister. When you understand that the serpent had power to create life from the dust, you just got to wonder, how far does that rabbit hole go? And what are archons? Okay. Have you guys ever heard of Gnostics? I've heard the word before, but I never really cared to look into it. Gone are the days of me not be willing to look into everything. I'm looking into everything. The only thing that I'm not going to look into is breaking God's laws. I don't want to look into that. That's why we here where we at now, because we looked into that. Outside of that, I'm looking into everything because I want the truth, and I'm not afraid of what I find. None of you are either. If you've made it this far, if you've gotten to the point where you understand that it's Yahweh and Yahweh only, believe it or not, you are a truth seeker. You didn't get here by coloring it inside the lines. Listen to this. What is a archon? The term archon has different meanings depending on the context. Ancient Greece and classical Athens, an archon was a chief, magistrate, or ruler. The position was highly prestigious, and there were different types of archons with distinct responsibilities, e.g., Archon Basilius for religious duties, Archon Eponymous for civic matters. The second kind, Gnosticism. Gnosticism, in some Gnostic religious traditions, archons were malevolent spiritual beings or demonic rulers of the material world, seen as obstacles to enlightenment. Mm. The third part, fiction and media. The term appears in various books, movies, and games. For example, in Genshin Impact, the Archons are powerful gods ruling different nations. Do you see this? I'm talking to somebody. Freemasonry is the fourth one. In some Masonic and esoteric traditions, an Archon might refer to a high-ranking official or a mystical being. Do you guys see this? These people are never going to just be outright brutally honest with you. They're always going to make you seem like it's some kind of folk tale, some kind of tall tale, when in reality, reality is way more stranger than fiction. That's why they tell you stuff like, don't read this, don't read that. Did you know that the Gnostics were known for going against the grain for religious thought patterns of their time? Kind of like Old Testament only Hebrews are today, known for going against the grain of the vast majority of religious groups and organizations. They lie about everything, y'all. These Archons, I can't remember. I think it was in the Book of Jubilees. In fact, I want to say it was either the Book of Jubilees or the Book of Jasher, where the Most High tells you that he set up spirits, invisible spirits, to preside over the other nations. But he said over the nation of Israel, he has not done that. The Most High himself is the deity that presides over the nation of Israel. But it's either the Book of Jasher or the Book of Jubilees. It says he set up spirits over the other nations to lead them astray. Could these be these so-called archons? King David says, my parents are one. He get mad sometimes when I question them, laugh out loud. No joke funny. I got in the truth by them. But of course, they put idle shy on me. I'm only one in the family level, headed the rest in that. Got you, King David. Yeah. And this is the thing. I don't know too many about Masons, but I do know they into some of that stuff they doing is wicked, but some of that stuff they got, the Masons got, they know is true. It ain't all wicked. I do know that. Because see, just like the word occult, people hear occult, they go, oh, he must be doing demonic, satanic rituals. Occult just means hidden knowledge. But see, when you're doing things on the left-hand side for the wicked, it's going to be wicked. But when you're on the right-hand side of righteousness, hidden knowledge, it's going to be righteous. Still occultic at the same time, if that makes sense. Because the Most High hides himself. That's hidden knowledge. And he hides knowledge. Hidden knowledge. Occultic knowledge. Apocrypha. Hidden books. The Most High hides himself and he hides information. Y'all see that? It really makes me wonder, because like I said, it's either the Book of Jasher or the Book of Jubilees. It says the Most High set up other spirits to reign over these other nations. Some of these people you guys think are presidents and princes and nations of other nations, those things are really spirits. You think they can't manipulate their appearance to look like a regular person? Y'all, this thing goes deep, y'all. The same thing with these archons, y'all. These archons are literally, some people actually, the Gnostics, the ancient Gnostics believe that the archons were spiritual, invisible beings who control and manipulate this reality, saying that the things that we see, like with our eyes, are being controlled and manipulated by these archons. Saying that they can't create anything, but anything that does exist, they can bend, shape, and manipulate. Ancient Gnostic texts claim that these archons are master manipulators and that they are evil. Does not the Old Testament tell us, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked? Have we not heard talk about reptile people, snake people? Is not the being in the garden a serpent, or referred to as a serpent? I'm telling you, it's so many things going on in the beginning of time that we have not gotten straight yet. And if we can't get the beginning of time straight, everything else after that is going to be off, y'all. SP says we have to be open to everything because we've been lied to about everything. Hey, SP, shout out to you, SP. You know what, SP? I'm sending you a spiritual hug right now, SP. I am hugging you in the spirit, SP. I'm high-fiving you in the spirit, SP. You make me feel so good saying that, SP, because I know that that's true. And it makes me feel good to see that there are other brews out there that can feel that and know that too. We cannot be afraid of this kind of stuff, y'all. I know it can be scary. It can be scary because we've been lied to about everything. And the last thing they want is us getting closer to the truth, which one thing we know for sure, we are headed in the right direction. That we know. That's why the Most High keeps elevating us and growing us and graduating our spirit, graduating our frequency. You're going to look up one day, we're going to have spiritual power. I ain't making this up. I ain't lying. You're going to look up one day and we're going to have spiritual power. King David says, I'm surrounded by it. Why I be telling these people might lose your salvation for having in your heart to snuff an animal for blood. It's witchcraft. I'm keep it at that. It's added to us. Facts, King David. King David says, why y'all saw this and told us touch his animal for any ritual is witchcraft and harming a human to him, and many said bump that. All facts, King David. All facts. And you know what? One thing I know for sure, anybody's on this live stream right now, y'all haven't tapped out, I know that y'all are researchers. You guys are diggers just like me. And also, everybody on this live stream is unafraid of what we find. Long as we don't break the Most High's laws, it is not a sin and not a crime to question everything and to put on your spiritual scuba gear and go deep sea diving in the scriptures, deep sea diving in reality. And it can be a scary thing. I say it all the time. 90% of the people on this earth have no idea what kind of world you live in. You got no kind of idea that these beings walking this earth, they are not human, but they look human. You got no ideas what kind of spirits are roaming this earth. They ain't got no physical body. They just got a spiritual body, but they roaming the earth. You guys got no, I know some of you do, but some of you, you're going to do what you're told. You're going to stay inside. You're going to color inside the lines. You're never going to break off the reservation and seek the truth for yourself because it's too scary. And there are many obstacles, but if you're not afraid and if you're diligent, you don't care. You're going to go after it. Now back to these Archons. The ancient Gnostics, and see, I'm going to start looking into this more too. The Nag Hammadi Bible, okay? There may be more than one Nag Hammadi Bible. Just like I got the Yahweh Bible. There are things out here in these Bibles, y'all. There's things out here in your regular King James Bible, Old Testament, that many people still have not uncovered yet. I'm talking about deep, deep stuff. Many of us haven't uncovered yet. This thing is an ever-growing process, y'all. If there was a serpent in the garden who was cunning enough and wise enough to deceive Eve, to deceive Adams, because both of them are Adam. If there's somebody cunning enough, a serpent to deceive them, how do we know? How do we know exactly how deep this serpent thing goes? Could it be the serpent people? That there have been legends and so-called folk tales told about serpent people? People say, I don't believe that stuff. Draconian people, serpent seed, archons. shapeshifters. I'm telling you guys, all of these things are real. This world is nothing like what they told you. But I know a lot of people can't handle this kind of talk, or else we would do a lot more talk like these. Sound confirmation. But I know a lot of people can't handle this kind of stuff. And you don't take this kind of stuff seriously until something happens. Okay? I know that this stuff is real. What is up with that serpent in the garden? Could that be an archon? I'm just saying, we got to consider everything. Ancient Gnostics, which I'm inclined to believe, I don't know for sure, but because they burned so many books. They said at the Library of Alexandria, the Church of Rome, the Romans, in like 1200, burned like 1,000 books, 1,000 ancient texts that the Gnostics had, in which they went into great detail about these beings and how these archons can manipulate, and they can project holograms and make you think that you're seeing things. Think about this. The scientists will tell you that the human eye, the things that we see, we only actually see about 3% of light. 3% is what really there. The other 97%, basically saying the things that we see don't look like what we see. They look like something else, but it's because of the way they say that the light bends, because we only see 3%. So because of that, things bend in a certain way to make us see the things that we see. I hope I'm explaining that. It's kind of difficult to explain. I hope I'm explaining that. I hope you guys see what I'm getting at. King David says, we read the scripture live that time. Yah said it was wicked. Them demons we on definitely had a deep agenda. Some like humans, they show themselves will be scary, but they work for Yah to test. King David says, them archons. Hey, King David, it definitely sounded like that, y'all. It's definitely sounding like that. And the thing about what our eyes only pick up like 3% or 6% light or something like that. It's not even in the double digits. So when you see a TV screen or you see the color green don't actually look like that. It looked like something else. What it looks like, I have no idea. Neither do you. Because our eye does something where it bends all these things. Look, or is it the archons, like the Gnostics said it was, doing something, manipulating? Maybe they gained control once we sinned and broke the laws. Then control went to the archons. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. I'm just saying, y'all, this world is nothing like what they told us, y'all. They told you don't read this, don't read that. Y'all, this world is diabolical, way more than we even know. SP says, look at some of the movies. I believe our history is at the base of them. Yes, SP. Yes. Yes. And you know what? The Most High is working with us, y'all, and he's leading us, giving us signs and wonders, confirming to us what needs to be confirmed. And you know what? Start looking into those non-commodity Bibles, y'all, those non-commodity scriptures, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's a wealth of information out there. Now look, just about those archons, right? You know they're never going to come out and tell you the archons are spiritual beings who reign over the nations. People would go crazy. But like I said, we did read, it was either in the book of Jasher or the book of Jubilees, where it said the Most High said he's the one who set up spirits over all the other nations. But over the nation of Israel, he said he set up himself. And he said he set up those spirits over the other nations to lead them astray. Can't make this up, y'all. Cannot make none of this up, y'all. I don't know about you guys, but I know that this needed to come out. And you notice that's why that guy, that demon, you know what? I don't even see his name in here no more. I was trying to go back to see where his name was. I was trying to go back to see where that demon's name was, y'all. Okay, Jeremy Thomas. Jeremy Thomas has vacated the premises because his whole mission was to get us to not talk about these archons, y'all. This whole Archon thing is much more sinister, and it goes deeper than what we thought, y'all. If these things can bend and manipulate matter and project holograms, they say they could be responsible for why we see what we see looks like the color green, but in reality, the color green look like something totally different from what we see. But is it because, is that why people feel like sometimes we living in a matrix? Because we are living in a reality. I'm telling you, these ancient Gnostic texts that the Romans in like 1200 Common Era, they said, went in and destroyed like 1,000 ancient texts from the ancient Gnostics, y'all. And the Romans would destroy anybody that don't agree with mainstream religious theology. The Romans got rid of you, just like they did the Gnostics, just like they came into the Library of Alexandria and got rid of like 1,000 books, y'all. Do you know how much knowledge was in an ancient Gnostic text? 1,000 books. And the older you go back, the further you go back, the closer you get to the truth. Once these damn Romans emerged on the scene, you can just forget about it, y'all. King David says, while dogs at night be seeing things barking in the house, growling, you like, yo, be quiet. Then you get them chills down your back, see your eyes not tap in like the dogs. Definitely cats. All facts, King David. Those dogs can sense the spirit realm. They can see things, and definitely cats, like you said as well, King David. I'm telling y'all, we don't understand what has happened, y'all. And you know why? Because we've not been able to get a real clear picture of what happened back, early in Genesis, because these Archons have been manipulating things, keeping everybody distracted with staying alive. It's the Archons. Call them whatever you want. Reptilians, Archons. You guys call them demons. Call them whatever you want. They are evil spiritual entities. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, who and where is he? You think that that's just talking about an evil man, but no, it goes much deeper than that. Sometimes, if you ever seen people do things so evil, you like, yo, even for a wicked person like you, that's even a bit much for a wicked human being. It's because some of these things, they are not humans. See, that's the reality many people are not willing to deal with and face, because it's going to take away your sleep at night if you realize that these archons actually exist and how demonic and sinister they are, how they can manipulate reality, how they are controlling you going to work every day, the stock market, everything. Some people even say that there's a chief deity. This is why I was asking you guys, had you listened to those Yahweh Bible playlists where the Most High took away the serpent's ability to create life from the dust of the ground? Because some ancient Gnostic texts say that there's an ancient deity who went out and created something on his own, a whole world and a structure, but it was a bad one, trying to copy the original one. I'm not making this up, y'all. Go do your research. I'm here to get you to think. I'm not making this up. And I'm gonna check this out, and then we're gonna leave, because I know it's getting long-winded, and I'm probably still gonna have to go into slavery tomorrow. Hopefully not, because right now it's snowing out there. It's been snowing for a little bit, and I hope it keeps up, because I don't want to go into slavery in the morning. Hold up, you guys. Give me 1 second. Bear with me, Hebrew. Hit the like button if you haven't hit that like button already. Share this video with somebody if you haven't, all right? Check this out. What is a Gnostic? Because the Gnostics, or people who practice Gnosticism, they knew all about this. Now, I'm no expert on this, but you best believe I'm looking into everything because I want the truth. J.R. Meadows says, if you do play, let it snow, laugh out loud. I'm hoping so much I ain't got to go into slavery in the morning, y'all. I'm so tired. I'm so hungry. And right now, it is snowing at a very steady pace. And I'm praying to the Most High. After I get off here, I'm going to pray to the Most High that it keeps on coming. Just long enough so that it can get confirmed that I can get out of slavery tomorrow. That's all I'm looking forward to, all right? Check this out. What is a Gnostic? Because many people might not know, just like I didn't know the so-called intricate definition, but I'm looking into everything because we can clearly see all the way back in the Bible, in Genesis, something is wrong, something is off. In human history, the further you look back, you can see something is drastically wrong, something is off. We've been deceived tremendously. And the Gnostics knew that these Archons, the Gnostics called them masters of deception. Nobody's greater at deceiving somebody than an Archon. Okay? King David says, probably the same spirits when people have no spouses and allegedly felt physical sex in their sleep. If they telling the truth, some people lie for attention, just the thought. Facts, King David. Facts. I'm telling y'all, hey, y'all, this world ain't nothing like what they told us it was. And that's why we got to stop thinking like the masses want us to think. That's why the Romans destroyed the Gnostics, because the Gnostics, they were not with this Roman stuff, kind of like us. And it makes me wonder if the Gnostics were us. These people lie about everything. And who had more knowledge than the ancient Hebrews? The Romans raided this Alexandria library and burned 1,000 books. I'm telling you guys, it was something in those books that they desperately wanted to keep from getting out. And they burned way more than 1,000 books. That was just that one time. Look, what is a Gnostic? A Gnostic is someone who follows Gnosticism, an ancient religious and philosophical belief system that emphasizes hidden spiritual knowledge. Gnosis. So that's what the word Gnosis means. Hidden spiritual knowledge. Do you see this? As the key to salvation. Hold up. Hold up. A Gnostic is someone who follows Gnosticism, an ancient religious and philosophical belief system that emphasizes hidden spiritual knowledge. Gnosis as the key to salvation. Y'all, I believe these Gnostics were ancient Israelites, y'all. Does not the Most High God hide himself and hide information? So that would be hidden spiritual knowledge, also known as Gnosis. This sounds like Hebrews to me, y'all. Key beliefs of Gnosticism: the true God versus the demiurge. The demiurge is that thing I was telling you about, that sound confirmation. This is spiritual, y'all. I cannot make this up. The demiurge is that being that I told y'all that the Gnostics said created a whole nother world in reality, where he tried to copy the original world, but he messed up and made a bad copy. Look, y'all, the true God versus the demiurge. Gnostics often distinguish between the true, unknowable God and a false creator God, the demiurge, who created the material world. Do you hear this? Number two, key beliefs of Gnosticism: material world as a trap. The physical world is often seen as a corrupt or an illusion, keeping souls in ignorance. Do you guys see this? I'm talking to somebody out there. Part 3, salvation through knowledge. Instead of faith or works, salvation comes through special spiritual knowledge, gnosis. Of course, they got to try to throw a curveball in there. You got to remember, everything that we got our hands on in 2025, has been through the hands of the Romans. So you know they always gonna throw a curveball. And that sound confirmation to prove what I'm saying is true. I cannot make this up. This might be the most spiritual stream we've done in 2025. Number 4, divine spark in humans. Some Gnostics believe that a piece of the divine is trapped within humans and must be awakened through knowledge. Could that be the all spark that the movies Transformers is always talking about? The all spark. Y'all see how they put this stuff right out in the open? Number 5. Oh, here they go. JC as a Gnostic teacher. Some Gnostic groups view JC not as a savior who died for sins, but as a spiritual guide who revealed hidden truths. Now, you guys know how we feel about JC over here. Gnosticism was declared as heresy by early Christian authorities. Go figure. But its ideas influenced various religions and esoteric traditions, just like the Old Testament. Today, some modern spiritual groups claim a Gnostic perspective, though classical Gnosticism largely disappeared after the first few centuries CE. Because that's when the Romans started coming on like gangbusters and eradicating everything and everyone who would bring out truth. I think these ancient Gnostics were Hebrews, y'all. SP says, knowledge, the lack of it is how we've perished in the past, but we woke now. That's right. We are definitely woke now, and we ain't going back to sleep. Hosea 6:2. You know what? We're going to get Hosea 6:2, and then I'm going to let you brothers and you sisters get up out of here. We're going to get Hosea 6:2. You guys, I did not expect to be on here this long, but I'm going to tell you one thing. I had a blast with y'all. I always do. And you know what? This live stream was very uplifting for my soul and my spirit. I was very edified by hanging out with y'all, going into this, shedding light on this, and just helping wake up the bros. Hosea 6:2. After 2 days will he revive us. In the third day he will raise us up, and we shall live in his sight. Hey, fam. After 2 days is a little after 2,000 years, meaning he was going to raise us up. And he's done that. He's revived us. On that third day, he's going to raise us up, and we're going to live in his sight. That third day could pop off at any moment. King David says, laughing emoji. These demons like dogs. They got to see JC everywhere. They go. Let me check my food ingredients. Might say JC blood. Hey, bro, that is crazy. But you ain't lying, though. And look, ain't that what the New Testament teaches? Somewhere in the New Testament, it says something like, XYZ, do XYZ, that Christ may be all in all. Like, they're literally trying to make him out to be. It's 26 letters in the English alphabet. A Christian will try to say that Christ is every single letter. And then some. That's Roman brainwashing. But it can't work no more. And y'all see this number? 144. That's how long we've been on here. Hour and 44 minutes, y'all. I thank you guys for hanging out with me, hanging out with your brother. Like this video, comment, share, and hit the subscribe button if you have not already. Once again, I'd like to thank Hazelnut City for coming through, hitting me with my first super chat. Hazelnut City didn't even leave no comment. He just dropped the bag and said, forget it. I ain't leaving no words. I appreciate that, Hazelnut City. And also, I appreciate all of you brothers and sisters just taking time to come to this live stream and intake this information. You guys, we working with a whole lot over here. And we are being, The Most High is growing us up in real time, fam. He's growing us up. Sister SP says, go eat and rest, brother. Heart-loving emoji. Hey, Sister SP, I'm going to take you up on that, sis, because I'm very tired and I'm very hungry. But I appreciate the love, SP, and I love you right back. And I love each and every one of you brothers and sisters that's in this live stream and everybody on the playback. I love all of yous. And like, comment, share, and subscribe. King David says, remember, Hebrews, be good. No blood and serve Yah only. Love your people, Tav X. That's right. Love your people. Love, 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 brothers. That's what we doing over here. And also, if the Most High puts it on your heart to donate to the channel, you can hit the Cash App, okay? Got the Cash App right there. Also, as soon as this video uploads, I'm going to throw the Cash App in the video description and the comment section. If the Most High puts it on your heart, feel free to donate to your brother and know that I definitely will appreciate it. And may the Most High bless every single one of us who watches this live stream and the playback. All praises to the Most High and Him alone. And continue to think outside of the box, Hebrew. That's how we got where we at now, by going off the reservation and thinking outside of the box. And focus on keeping the Most High's commandments and gathering knowledge and applying that knowledge. I love y'all. Peace.